People, they'll come over to you and they'll want to work with you. They'll leave their lawyers and work with you. And this is a huge problem. Most people do not find decent lawyers. They are stuck with bad lawyers. And but then they are also highly skeptical of all lawyers out there, that probably everybody is like this only, and you need to be people having matters don't go to lawyers. They're like, okay, I will digest the loss, but I'll not go to a lawyer because lawyer will cause me more losses.
Yeah.
Okay, now that is what you are battling against. And you must change your attitude from the way people used to practice, because 30 years back, in a city like even Calcutta, Bombay, Delhi, which had good practices, like so-called large practices, how many the number of lawyers were so few, and the number of cases were also very few, very few, right? So in a month there may be 100 cases coming to a high court. I mean, literally, like you look at the old cause list, there were not so many cases, and lawyers were also very few. So everything was concentrated in the hands of a few people. So you had to go through those channels. All of that does not exist anymore. But people are behaving like it still exists like that. You don't have to go through those channels of seniors only. There are so many other ways. There's such a huge unaddressed market out there of people wanting solutions and not getting it. Correct? So all of those of you know, everybody knows around you there are these online frauds happening, right? In my office only 3-4 people have been defrauded. Like I run the helpline. We have written so many articles about it on our blog. But still, in our office, several people have been defrauded, because when people badly want something and they get a call and somebody says, I'll solve your problem, I'll give you money, I'll give you this, that. Okay, I will. So out of greed, people fall prey to it. Lawyers also. Okay. Now, imagine that happening and nobody knows what to do beyond like, okay, I'll go file an FIR. Something as simple as that, filing FIR in the same state usually doesn't work unless you're following it up to 156 3 CRPC and fighting it. It's much more effective to file an FIR where the bank account exists, where the transfer happened. Something as much as this people don't know. Now, but there are problems around you. All I'm trying to say is that there is massive number of problems around you that remain unsolved. What if you went and started solving them? If you started solving them, will people have a problem in giving you money? People are losing 50,000, 80,000, 5 lakhs kind of amounts in these things. If you recover their money, would they have a problem giving you 20%, 30%? I don't know of that money. How much percentage? But when you think of building a criminal law practice, do you think like that? Now imagine somebody is starting a restaurant, okay, in this area. Publicity. Now stop. Look at this location, okay, target market. So you'll at least check these things before starting something, right? So if there are 10 Chinese restaurants, do you want to open 11 Chinese restaurant right next to that? Probably not. You may say, you know what, people like Chinese here, maybe they will like Korean or they'll like Thai. Like let's do a little very similar but little different so that people will come to me, right? Also, you will think that, okay, what kind of area is this? Okay, is this an area with lots of rich people? Lots of people with, like lots of young people working in jobs who come back home late? What kind of ordering? Are there a lot of pubs and bars nearby where people would be coming out after drinking at 12 o'clock and want a bite? So all of that you will take into account, right? So you will find problems and then you will solve. Okay, if anybody just starts a restaurant in the wrong place, wrong restaurant, will it work? No. You will be thinking that, what is it that is the problem here that I can solve, right? And if you are able to solve a real problem, your business succeeds, right? It's the same thing. If there was no problem of legal education, then LawSikho can't exist. If all the colleges were teaching all the practical stuff, then LawSikho can't exist. So we identified there's a problem in the market, let's solve it. And then it works. Now, if you're a criminal lawyer, how long are you going to think from a problem solution perspective, or are you going to think, oh, this is how other people have built law practice, so if I do it, it will probably work. It's like saying, oh, 10 people have opened Chinese restaurants on this street. If I open 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th one, it will keep working. Does that make any sense to you? So if you are going to build a criminal law practice, then it is not about opening another Chinese restaurant. The question is, what problem is there that remains unsolved or solved in a suboptimal way? Okay? So when I was in law school in 4th year, an entrepreneur, a startup company was ready to let me negotiate their and draft their shareholder agreement and negotiate their venture capital investment of $2 million. Why? Because they went to all the lawyers and realized that doesn't work. Went to 6 lawyers, okay, and realized that this is never gonna work. Then he found somebody of basically somebody who's smart, flexible, doesn't know as much but can at least figure out and do it. Now imagine most of the criminal lawyer in this town, if you went to them and said, negotiate a venture capital deal. They will say, yeah, I'll do it, please. But you know that they are not going to be able to do it. If you ask them a few questions, they don't even know what is venture capital, right? That's how it was 10 years back. No lawyer in the, maybe there were like 5 lawyers in the city who was doing venture capital. And they were super expensive. So people are ready to even go to a student, 4th year law student, to do something like that. Today it's not possible. Why? Because that problem has been adequately taken care of. There are reasonable solutions to that problem. Correct? But there may be other problems which are not solved. So when problems are not solved, people are desperate, they're looking for solutions and not finding. And lawyers, instead of identifying those problems and offering solutions, what are they doing? Sexual harassment experts in complaint committees. Okay, people have become experts and they are earning lakhs of rupees. There are people who have built companies and organizations that are earning lakhs of rupees doing this consultancy and helping people on these matters. Okay, it took 5-6 years to come here, but the moment you take that problem and solution approach, then you specialize, you become good at it. See, if you specialize in sexual harassment matters and I don't, you will know way more than I can know within a year. I cannot learn it from a book, I cannot learn it from anywhere. In courses like LawSikho, we can speed up to an extent. But if somebody is dedicatedly doing one kind of work for years, it is very hard to beat them. Okay, you can get a head start by doing a course or by reading an amazing book or something, which is also unlikely. But if you do something with that mindset that this is a problem, how do I solve it? Let me figure out how to solve this problem. And you are only looking at it from a problem solution point of view and not how other lawyers do it. By the way, what other lawyers are doing it? The one thing is that even practicing, like the way they go about practice, most of it is obsolete. Many people are following completely obsolete practices. It works for them. They are still making money from it. But do you realize how forums are changing, how fast cases moved out from civil courts? And there are new solutions coming up. So only those lawyers who are able to understand those solutions and offer those solutions will thrive. And people who have been practicing the way, if in a money recovery case, the way you behave 10 years back, if you behave now, then you will be damn ineffective. Same thing for contracts. If you have been drafting corporate leases the way you have been drafting 10 years back and you're still drafting them in the same way, then you are on your way to become extinct. You may not, because you have too much, influence, maybe too much brand name. So sometimes you survive because you have too much brand name. But somebody new building that practice, not going to happen. Okay? So this is very important to realize, that problem solution approach in criminal practice is so important. So if you become specialized, say in narcotics matters, it's gonna work. If you can become specialized in getting maintenance to people, and people will tell you, this person is really good at maintenance matters, section 125 CRPC, really good, and then you can even build an online presence around it. You can become the authority on it, you can write books on it, you can write articles on it, you can give TV interviews on it. And suddenly everybody, whenever people want to talk about section 125 CRPC, they talk about you. That is good enough to build a very successful practice. And this is one. I'm not saying for the rest of your life you do only one thing, but once you ace this one thing, you can add one more. Then you can add one more. When we started Click Lawyer, we restricted ourselves to 3 types of work. That's it. Anything else came, we'll take it maybe if it makes sense. But 3 types of work we will chase and try to build ourselves on. Right? And those 3 we identified by what is very high frequency, good margins. Good margins means our costs are low, and we looked at turnaround time. How soon can we deliver a result? Because as a young company, as young lawyers, also it will depend on you also, that as a young person, you need to deliver quick results. So you need to choose matters in such a way that you invest your time where you can produce those results quickly, even if you make less money. But producing results, you are building trust and building your network. So if there is a matter that will go on for 10 years, it may not be very suitable for a very young lawyer to take. Yeah, but if something that will produce results in 6 months or 2 months, in 1 month, fantastic for you to start on that.
First of all, I'd like to elaborate what you said is that you should not go for generalization in the context that, see, as a young lawyer, you have to take up all the cases which are coming to you. You cannot avoid taking up, otherwise there will be a survival crisis, right? But you should go for some specializations also so that you can start building your reputation in that area. Otherwise, you will get stuck in that dirt cheap thing only, like what everybody is doing, right? Certain examples are like, see, what we have to do is that people don't stick to basics certain times. What I teach them is that sometimes basics are also so important that you can convert the whole matter in your favor. For example, when you file a bail application, what people do is that they go defensive in the courts, right? And they think that, okay, I will get a bail. Okay, but what a strategy or a strategic lawyer will do is sometimes they know that their applications will not get accepted in the lower court. So what we do is that we go and request them that, okay, please reject our bail application so that we can go in the senior court and we can get it approved, right? Please give that copy to us. That is one strategy. Second thing is that when they are filing the grounds, they again go defensive, right? While instead of that, they can go offensive, because bail is a rule, jail is an exception. That is, Supreme Court has said that, right? So now why this person should be arrested? Why he shouldn't be released? Is it that they need him for investigation or interrogation? Some recovery is pending? Is there any chance of fleeing from justice? What is there? Why prosecution wants them behind the bars?